Good day, traders. This is Rich with some price action on the market. It's currently 4:05 p.m., October 5th, 2020, Monday. Here we are, new week, new action. And let me tell you, I'm creating a video right after this video about what happened to me this morning on the not the pre-market, but the early market, and trading Boeing with Tradestation turned into a complete debacle, and I'm currently in a fight with them. Not a fight, but back and forth. I've called twice. I was actually in the middle of a trade when I called, just waiting for them to pick up, and it took them about 10 minutes to pick up. Now 7 minutes to pick up, and I spoke to a representative, and we spoke for several minutes, and then nothing happened. So I called back after I was done with my trade and talked to someone else, and it was the same situation. So I'll get into all that in a second. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We are back at it this week. Just a struggle day early, and then we found a nice one to get us really cooking. And then I let some of it go at the end. But overall, decent day after the rough start, and I'll get into that right now. And then in the next video, which is going to be the same day, you will see a video about my dilemma that I had. So the day started out with Boeing. Boeing in the morning, I really liked it through the 170 level. The 170 level was a pretty hot spot in the last couple of days. We saw it on Thursday and Friday. And when I saw 170 show its head, I decided to give it a go. And what I mean by that, it was setting up at the 170 level. And in the video, I actually recorded it, and now it's going to be in the next one. The next video is that I entered the buy button, or I pressed the buy button at 170. I think I got jumped. I'm pretty sure I got jumped, but nothing happened. It was like I hit, like I'm here, you can see my cursor on XBids. I clicked like that. And then what happened was it just stayed gray like this. Usually when you hit the buy button, this will say cancel all if it doesn't get filled yet, or it'll say reverse and close. Those things will get highlighted. And what happened was nothing happened. And all it said was down here, 300 shares of Boeing sent. It didn't say received, it just said sent. And I didn't notice that at first when I was watching, because I'm looking at so many different things, and that's not really what I really should be worrying about. I shouldn't be worrying about my platform. And so I'm hearing in my room, I'm hearing about NNOX, and I'm like, okay, I shift over to NNOX, and you can watch the video of the whole, it's 1:50. I think I recorded. You can watch when I post that. So literally a minute goes by, and I go to my Beyond screen, and I type in Boeing like this, and all of a sudden the price action is below 170, and I'm still not in a trade. So I just thought maybe I slipped off the buy button, and it was at 169.68, and all of a sudden I get filled, and I'm like, what? Meanwhile, the guy that runs the room I'm in, he uses Tradestation, and he's struggling with his platform. He really struggled today because of it. And so this is why I called. So I just closed the trade. You can watch. I closed the trade. I took a $100 loss in that trade. Then I did something really stupid because I was all confused. I walked away, or I didn't walk away. I went to look at other stocks, and I came back to Beyond, and I didn't realize that I was still on Boeing. But if you look at Boeing and Beyond, at one point they were the same price. They were literally the same price, 171 on that, and they were like 169 over here. So I wasn't even thinking. I was looking at my chart on my other screen. I saw Beyond, and I hit buy at 170, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Right when I did that, and I just sold, and I took another like a $60 loss on Boeing, and I was meaning to trade Beyond. So right away I'm down like $190, and I'm just at a loss, just frustrated. So I'm on the phone. I'm thinking I'm gonna get my my $100 trade back at least. So I'm like, okay, I'll figure this out and get back to basics like I always do. And that's when I found NNOX. We've traded this several times. We love NNOX. The break of the 40 level right here on this candle, and I was just trading it all the way up, and I got to sell at 43.50. This was one of probably my biggest trade, maybe not my biggest trade this year, but one of the biggest trades of the year. Ended up being a, let's see, how much was it? $503 win. Just a solid trade. I was on the phone and I'm pressing sell scale outs, and the guy's like, "Oh, sounds like you're scaling out some trades or something." I was like, "Yep." And as the price was moving, I was selling, and actually at one point I almost sold it all just so I can talk to you on the phone. But I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I am going to take as much money on this trade as possible. What happened was price action fell down here, right? Hard to see. It was at 40. What was the high here? Almost 43, came all the way down to 41.15, and I'm like, you know what? I still had 50 shares or something like that, and I rode it up to here. I did not get the 45 high, but I did get the 43.50, and sold off the rest there. The price did come down below the entry of 30 or 40, and no big deal. So that was a nice winner. Then I gave back some. This Kodak was just a test trade because supposedly you can trade Kodak again on Tradestation. I traded some stupid PLL, WWR, and I gave back like $50. So the total for today was 270 gains, I believe, maybe a little bit more, but it was definitely a good way to. I almost just stopped for the day after I had the NNOX trade because I was so frustrated with the Boeing trade. I'm trying to figure that out because, I'm doing all these videos on Tradestation, giving them props, and then this stuff happens. How do I, if they had good customer service and they said, "Hey, we see your mistake, or we see our mistake, let's settle it." Okay, it's not my fault what happened. If I'm in a bad trade and I make a mistake, it's my fault. But this was not my fault, and I just don't know what to do. So that's why I'm going to create another video. Put it out there to the masses. You guys share it, do whatever you gotta do, subscribe to the channel, like the video. And if you have issues like this before, you had issues this morning from it, let me know. Because I know it was happening across the board. It wasn't just me, it was another guy, it was several other people I know that use Tradestation were having issues, and this should not happen. Does it happen? Of course, but make it right. I know it was only $100, but $100 for me in my small trading account, that's a day. That's a good day, $100. So I'm not looking to cause any issues. I just want this to be resolved properly because it wasn't my fault. Again, I took a trade on that Beyond, thinking it was Beyond. It was Boeing, and I lost in it. Fully my fault. The buy went through, the sell went through. My fault. I'm owning up to that. I'm not going to complain about that. I'm going to complain about something that really shows its head. And this did. Very fortunate for NNOX today. That really got me going in the green. I thought I did pretty good scaling out on that. So look for this video right after. Probably post it tonight. I'll let this one sit. Let you guys watch this one for a minute. And if you watch that one first, that's fine because I did a video on Saturday. So there's a lot of videos coming out. I'm trying to really get this channel going. Make sure you subscribe. And you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.